All right, viewers, our top focus is Navjot Singh Sidhu. The Supreme Court today ordered a one-year jail term for Navjot Singh Sidhu in the 1988 road rage case. Sidhu was charged under punishment for voluntarily causing hurt. Here's the full report.
A few months ago, Navjot Singh Sidhu was in the race to be Punjab Chief Minister. But today, the former State Congress chief is headed to prison in a 34-year-old road rage case. The Supreme Court has sentenced Sidhu to one-year jail term under the charge of voluntarily causing hurt. The court rejected the review plea by the victim's family to add the charge of culpable homicide not amounting to murder. The court in its order said, a disproportionately light punishment humiliates and frustrates the victim of crime. The court added that indifference to the rights of a victim of a crime is eroding the faith of the society in general. Sidhu, reacting to this sentence, has said he will submit to the majesty of the law. The former cricketer's lawyer thought the review plea was a rare incident.
The turbulence, a quietus has been given by the Supreme Court. This is a matter which is rather old. In fact, review petitions themselves were not activated for many months, almost under a year. I am so happy that ultimately the Supreme Court has given a quietus.
The family, meanwhile, has decided to welcome the court's verdict.
He has to go to jail. He has to surrender and go to jail. To answer आपके एक सवाल का जवाब, क्या उनके पास लीगल रेमेडी है? वो एक क्यूरेटिव पिटीशन है. वो क्यूरेटिव डाल सकते हैं जी कि जो 5 जजों के पास जाएगी, 3 जज सर्टिफाई करेंगे, पर वो रेमेडी is very rarely exercised.
The road rage case dates back to 1988 when Navjot Singh Sidhu got into an argument with a Patiala resident over a parking spot. Sidhu allegedly dragged him out of his car and hit him. The man later died. Sidhu was earlier let off with a fine of 1,000 rupees. Now, the maximum possible punishment under Section 323 of the Indian Penal Code has been given to Sidhu. From a humiliating defeat in Punjab elections to a conviction in the road rage case, the former cricketer's political career has hit a roadblock. For Navjot Singh Sidhu, a comeback from this point seems a tough challenge. Bureau Report, India Today.
Some would say, viewers, that time has caught up with Navjot Singh Sidhu. I want to hark back to an incident that happened 30 years ago. Let's take out the timeline of this incident that took place, viewers, 30 years ago, December 27, 1988. Sidhu and a friend, Rupinder Sandhu, got into a brawl over a parking spot. Sidhu beats Gurnam Singh, flees the scene. He hits a man, Gurnam Singh, who is a senior citizen in terms of he's over the age of 60. 65-year-old Gurnam is taken to the hospital from that parking lot. When he arrives at the hospital, he's declared dead. September 1999, a trial court acquits Sidhu and Rupinder Sandhu, alias Bunny. Now, this was a trial court. Both of them were acquitted. However, the family of the deceased pursues the case. December 2006, Punjab and Haryana High Court holds Sidhu and Bunny guilty. Sidhu and Bunny both are found guilty of culpable homicide not amounting to murder. Both Sidhu and Bunny are sentenced, viewers, to 3 years in jail. Both of them are sentenced to 3 years in jail. Now, 2018, the Supreme Court, the matter is of course escalated to the Supreme Court. The family continues to pursue it. The Supreme Court acquits Sidhu of culpable homicide, fines him a mere 1,000 rupees. Gurnam's family then files a review plea in Supreme Court. The family is dogged right from the trial court all the way up to filing a review plea in Supreme Court. Judgment day for Navjot Singh Sidhu, viewers, came today on May 19th, 2022. The Supreme Court today sentenced Sidhu to 1 year in jail. What lies ahead right now for Navjot Singh Sidhu is very little in terms of legal options, viewers. The only legal option available to Navjot Singh Sidhu is a curative petition. And very rarely in the history of the courts has a curative petition in a case like this been entertained. So, in all probability, Navjot Singh Sidhu will spend the next 1 year in a jail, in all probability in Patiala, because this incident had taken place in Patiala. I want to connect right now to Lalit Sharma, my colleague who's joining us live from Patiala. Maushmi Singh joins us live from Delhi, because there are political implications as well on what has gone down. Lalit, what are you witnessing right now? Because Navjot Singh Sidhu, after, he was at the farmers' march, then he came back when the verdict came out, we heard nothing. Then one single tweet when he said he's bowing down before the majesty of the law. Is Navjot Singh Sidhu going to spend, starting today, his first night in jail for the course of the next 1 year? And will it be at the Patiala jail?
Preeti, it seems that now nothing is ending good for Navjot Singh Sidhu. The way now today, the Supreme Court today slammed Navjot Singh Sidhu 1 year rigorous imprisonment. So after that, now you can see silence outside the residence of Navjot Singh Sidhu. Still, I am standing outside his residence at Yadvinder Colony in Patiala. And after the Supreme Court pronouncement, now Navjot Singh Sidhu right now is with his near and dear ones inside and also talking to some of his legal friends inside. But right now what we are learning that very soon Navjot Singh Sidhu's wife and daughter are on their way from Amritsar, and very soon they are going to reach here in residence in Patiala. And if we talk about his legal remedies, very less legal remedies are being left with Navjot Singh Sidhu. Only the curative plea has been left, but right now what we are learning that he has to surrender and he has to now live 1 year in the jail. And
Lalit, I want to quickly, before I go to Maushmi, I want to ask you a very quick question. When is the arrest taking place? Because either he has to court arrest or the police will come and pick him up. What are we expecting?
What we are learning that not today Navjot Singh Sidhu would be arrested, as after the Supreme Court order, the order would go to the district court, and after that, after the district court order only, he would be arrested. And right now the district court have been closed. So,
okay, so tomorrow,
there is no possibility
in all probability,
today,
we are going to see Navjot Singh Sidhu
that if he,
being arrested tomorrow morning. Stay with me, Lalit. I want to connect right now to my colleague Maushmi. Maushmi, a lot of political implications as well for the Congress party, because yes, he's no longer president. There was a lot of rancor against him. He had pretty much been sidelined. But now, after his arrest, in the Congress, the knives are out.
Absolutely, and that just actually reflects on the state of affairs in the party, Preeti, because two big jolts for the Congress, not only Navjot Singh Sidhu but Sunil Jakhar as well. And that really means, the Punjab Congress is at its rock bottom, divisive, dissensions rocking the party. And I can tell you one thing, that Navjot Singh Sidhu, being the lone warrior that he was, he didn't have many friends in the Congress, because he would, as the Akalis said, that he was a loose cannon. He criticized all and sundry in order to, further his ambitions, is what he was accused of more than often. And so, Preeti, I think that it will be a very tightrope walk for the Congress party as well.